U.S. Consumer and Lifestyles Database is ideal for identifying the target market for a product or service, studying the demographics of a community, researching consumer demand for a new business, researching a community before opening a new business, and estimating the number of potential customers based on hobbies, interests, and other demographics. You can access Reference USA through many public libraries. Now, if your local library doesn't have Reference USA, that's okay. IDRS can assist you in gaining access. In fact, we can help you gain access to any database shown in this webinar. So to begin your search, click on the U.S. Consumers Lifestyle Database. Now, when you get to this point, you're going to be given two options in which you can search. You can do the quick search, or you can do an advanced search. An advanced search is typically the best option. Now, the custom search option here allows you to build a search form based on your criteria and allows you to identify customers that meet those criteria. You're given 19 categories and several dozen subcategories of criteria to choose from. A search form will appear after each criteria is selected. Continuing with our example, let's say I'm interested in starting a business selling recreational vehicle products. To identify my target market, I want to search for people in the Tulsa area who I have identified as potential customers based on my customer segmentation exercise, which we just did. So to do this, I'm going to build a search using the criteria for, I think for this one, I'm going to use county. And you'll see there it pops up a form. So I can go in and select my state. I'm actually in Oklahoma. And I'm going to scroll down here and choose the county which I live in. So moving on down, the next piece of information that I want included in my search is estimated home income. And I'm going to select income ranges starting at $70,000 and going up. And I'm going to select the lifestyles option. And so remember, we talked about some things in that segmentation exercise and identified some psychographic characteristics of our potential customers. One of them being that they support wildlife and environmental issues. So we may search for people who donate to these types of causes. Outdoor recreation. Definitely people who like to hunt, fish, go camping. And we'll scroll on down here to see what else there is. Travel. And here we go. This is a very good option for us, recreation vehicle travel. Now, when I click View Results, I'll get a list of all the people who match the criteria I searched for. Now, you can use this list as a very targeted way to do something like direct mail advertising if you want to send something to each individual person on this list. You can also view the data in other ways, which might reveal concentrated areas such as neighborhoods, where you might consider something like billboard advertising, distributing flyers, or similar forms of advertising where you can concentrate on a specific geographical area. So let me show you a few other ways that you can view this data. You can view the data in a heat map. Here it comes. And let's say I actually want to view the heat map based on home income. Now, something like a heat map might be useful if you're looking for an area to locate your new business. Then you can look on your heat map and see the areas where the greatest concentration of these customers live. So you might want to explore those areas as potential locations for your new business. Now you can also view, I'm going to go back here. Couple other ways that you can view this. Just stick with me. It's a little bit of a slow process maneuvering through this particular database. There are some summary reports that you can get access to based on the information that you pulled. So this is one that's based on home value. If we like, we can come over here and have it generate a report based on zip code. And again, when you do it by a factor like something like zip code, it can also be useful for developing advertising strategies such as mail campaigns. So we can see here in our graph that the zip code 74019 definitely contains the greatest population of our consumers in this spreadsheet, followed by the zip code 74017. So if we were to work with the U.S. Post Office or something, maybe we want to do a direct mail campaign but target only very specific zip codes. And that's something that this would be useful for. So I want to point out here that you can print that if you saw the little print option and then there was a download button. I always, whenever I'm using this database, I always download the actual Excel file. Oh. And one thing you will have to do is you'll have to make sure and select the files that you want to download. And I'm not going to go through all 88 pages here, but we'll just download this first sheet so you can see the process. So you can get it in several different formats. Comma delimited is great. It's just like Excel. I'm just going to go ahead and push the Excel feature though, since everyone knows what that looks like. And just to let you know that you can also come down here and you can have it. I just downloaded the summary, but you can have a very detailed list, which includes all of the data that Reference USA has on each one of those consumers, or you can do a custom download and select only those fields that you want to import. And so here you have it. This is just, again, the summary of some of the data. If you were to select the choice where you download all the data, you're going to get, oh goodness, I would say probably at least 30 different columns of information. So again, that's actually quite useful, and that's typically what I do because that will also list some of the lifestyle preferences and other types of information. So now what I can do is I can actually take this data and manipulate it in other ways that's going to be useful to me because it's going to show different insights that I could use as I'm developing, things like advertising strategies. So for instance, I recently did this for one of my clients and downloaded all of the data associated in the file, and by further analyzing the data was able to let her know that 80% of those potential customers shop online. And so that showed the importance of her being doing e-commerce as well as selling her products inside an actual physical retail location. So again, useful to be able to download the data, manipulate it in other ways so that you can extract further insight from it.